was arrested.
Patrick Montgomery was in court.
Jonathan Manapa will stay in federal custody.
No, I don't take responsibility at all.
Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I have an update to share about a January 6th fugitive who took off to Belarus before his arrest. Before I dive into the story, though, if you enjoy my videos, please hit the subscribe button, click the bell so you'll be notified when I share something new. So now on to the January 6th fugitive. This is a man named Evan Newman. You guys will remember this man.
The bizarre appearance of Evan Newman, an accused capital rioter from California seeking asylum in Belarus. We're then shown Newman himself being interviewed about how he got here, apparently by crossing the border illegally through snake-infested swamps. He says his photo was put on an FBI wanted list. That's true, but his next claim isn't.
What happened to other people there?
What do you think they do with people like me, he asks. They're kept in solitary confinement for 8 months at a time and beaten. Torture is a common thing, he explains to the Belarusian reporter. Torture is, of course, illegal in the United States. What is true is that Newman faces multiple criminal charges in the US for his alleged role in the January 6th insurrection. Prosecutors say he taunted and screamed at police before donning a gas mask and threatening officers. According to court papers, police body camera footage showed Newman pushing a metal barricade into a police line before punching 2 officers with his fist.
So Newman was indicted in December of 2021. He was charged with 4 counts of assaulting officers, threatening a federal official, 3 counts of civil disorder, entering restricted grounds, 2 counts of disorderly conduct, 2 counts of physical violence, and parading or demonstrating in a Capitol. Newman, though, sold his home in Northern California, and then he fled the country before the FBI had a chance to arrest him. And they really dropped the ball on this one because they interviewed him shortly after the Capitol attack, but they didn't arrest him at that time. And Belarus has now granted him asylum. Well, Newman has a family here. He has children here in the U.S. So he was recently interviewed by the Press Democrat news outlet. And Newman said he finally is regretful about some of his decisions. He still believes that the election was stolen from Donald Trump, so that hasn't changed. And Newman is still trying to blame the violence on provocateurs, or he says that, law enforcement set a trap for everyone. He called it a honeypot trap, which is not the same thing. But anyway, after 3 years of not seeing his 2 children, Newman now wishes that he hadn't gone to the Capitol. Newman told the reporter, quote, "If I had some kind of crystal ball to see the future, then I wouldn't have gone. But I never predicted this." And, quote, "Missing my children's teenage years is very hard." However, Newman maintains his innocence. He claims the evidence against him is all fabricated, it's all BS. He never assaulted the police. But Newman refuses to come back and face those charges because he said, quote, "I would be found guilty regardless. There's a lot of people who have strong political views in Washington, D.C., and they're very anti-Trump and anti-Trump supporters. And so it doesn't matter really what the charges would be. I would not get a fair trial there." Newman also said he wouldn't take a plea deal. He told the reporter, quote, "Even if I did, that would be decades in prison. And I'll be honest, I don't think I would survive decades in prison. I'm not that personality." No, you're more the chicken shit, cowardly personality. You're more the personality who only acts brave when you outnumber the police by thousands to 1. We're very aware. And what is this decades in prison? The only people who've gotten decades in prison for January 6th are proud bigots and oath keepers who committed conspiracy to overturn the election, who were literally accused of and convicted of sedition. So this guy clearly doesn't know what he's talking about. He's clearly still stuck in the right-wing news bubble. Anyway, Newman hopes that Trump will become the president again and that he'll pardon the January 6th defendants. That's what he's holding out hope for. But even he had to admit that Trump doesn't really keep his word. Newman said, quote, "Trump is Trump. He may say something today and decide that it's not convenient tomorrow." And then Newman said that he puts Trump's chances of winning in November at 50-50. So, again, I ask, was it worth it? This guy gave up everything. He gave up his entire life. He gave up time with his children for a 2-bit con artist, lying, cheating, thieving piece of cow dung who would not piss on Newman if he was on fire. And what boggles my mind is how Newman said, "I never predicted this. I would have never predicted this." This is a 51-year-old grown-ass man. This is a man with experience, and he couldn't predict the consequences of his actions. He didn't consider that perhaps committing crimes at the United States Capitol might cost him his freedom, or that running, becoming a fugitive from the law, would increase those penalties and cost him even more time with his family. Unbelievable. As I always say, though, we don't have to wonder why some of these people support Trump, right? It is glaringly obvious from their choices and their state of mind. All right, I will let you all know if I hear any more on this. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. Please like, share, and subscribe. Please donate if possible. Love you all. Take care. Talk with you soon.